You've been lied to about a calm life. They told you it comes when everything is perfect, when the bills are paid, when everyone approves of you, when you finally have all the answers. But if that were true, why do people who seem to have it all still feel restless inside? Why do you still wake up some mornings with a racing mind, heavy with worries, before the day has even begun? The truth is, a calm life doesn't appear when the world stops. Demanding it begins when you choose how to meet the world as it is, and Buddhist wisdom holds the key. For thousands of years, monks, teachers, and seekers discovered that calm isn't a prize at the end of struggle. It's a practice, a way of speaking to yourself each morning before the noise of the day takes over. Every sunrise gives you two choices: wake up and be carried away by chaos, or wake up and plant seeds of peace that shape your entire day. Just 5 simple reminders, 5 truths whispered to yourself, can shift you from tension to ease, from anxiety to balance. They don't require special rituals or mountain retreats. They are quiet anchors, available to anyone, anywhere. And as you begin to use them, something inside you will settle. Your breath will slow, your mind will clear, and you'll feel what it means to live calmly, even in a world that never stops moving. This isn't just another morning habit. It's a path, a daily reset, a chance to live lighter, clearer, more at peace. So ask yourself, are you ready to wake up not just from sleep, but into a calm life? When the introduction ends, a silence always lingers. That space right before the lesson begins is where curiosity stirs. It's where the heart leans forward, waiting for the first drop of wisdom to fall. You may already feel it, the gentle pull, the whisper that there's more to life than rushing through the hours. That whisper is not outside you. It is already inside your own body, subtle yet steady, waiting for you to notice. And the key to hearing it starts with something so simple, so close, that most people overlook it every single morning. The first breath, that first inhale, taken without effort the moment you wake, is more than just air entering your lungs. It is life itself greeting you once again. A quiet teacher that has been there since the moment you were born, continuing faithfully through every joy and sorrow. But because it happens on its own, you've forgotten its power. The mind races toward tasks, worries, memories, while the breath waits patiently, asking nothing, offering everything. To reclaim your calm life, you must learn to meet that first breath with awareness. When you notice it, really notice it, something shifts inside. The nervous system, often wired to brace for the day, softens, the heart steadies, the mind slows its chase. This is not a mystical idea, it is biology. When you bring attention to your breathing, the parasympathetic nervous system is activated. This system is like the body's natural brake pedal, slowing down the stress response, signaling safety. A single conscious breath at dawn can mark the difference between carrying tension all day or moving through life with ease. There is a hidden power in meeting the morning, not with alarms or demands, but with stillness. You may feel the weight of unfinished conversations, regrets, or tasks pressing against you the moment your eyes open. The body may even react with tightness in the chest or heaviness in the shoulders. But the first breath is always larger than those shadows. It clears a small space before thoughts take over, a space where gratitude can grow. When you let your awareness settle on that inhale and exhale, you acknowledge, I am alive. I woke up. Thousands of others did not. This moment is a gift. From a Buddhist lens, this recognition is no small thing. The teachings remind us that human life is precious and fleeting. Every new day is a rare opportunity, not a guarantee. By anchoring yourself to the breath first thing in the morning, you step into that truth. You stop taking your existence for granted and instead meet it with reverence. What could be more sacred than that? This practice does not require silence, incense, or ritual. It requires only presence. As you wake, before touching your phone, before replaying yesterday, pause. Place one hand gently on your chest or stomach. Feel the movement of air, the rise and fall. Stay there for 3 breaths, or 5, or as long as you can before the tide of the day pulls you forward. This is your first act of self-respect, a declaration that your calm life begins with awareness, not with chaos. The first breath also teaches something deeper, the art of letting go. Every inhale carries in the freshness of the new day. Every exhale releases what no longer belongs. This rhythm is constant, unstoppable, and wise. By simply watching it, you learn the natural cycle of holding on and releasing. How many of yesterday's worries are still clinging to you? How many burdens are heavy because you never exhaled them? The breath shows you that release is not something you force. It happens naturally when you trust the process. Modern science echoes what the Buddha taught long ago. Breathwork has been shown to regulate cortisol, lower blood pressure, and even reshape the neural pathways of the brain. Studies in mindfulness-based stress reduction reveal that people who start their day with intentional breathing report greater focus, less reactivity, and a stronger sense of well-being. These are not luxuries. They are the foundation for living calmly in a restless world. What makes the first breath so unique is its timing. It arrives before anything else, before emails, before traffic, before conversations. If you catch it then, you anchor the entire day in stability. It's like placing the first stone of a foundation. If it is strong and steady, everything built upon it is secure. If it is ignored, the day builds on shaky ground. Gratitude naturally follows awareness. Not the forced kind, but the kind that rises like dawn. As the air fills your lungs, you may notice warmth in your body, the softness of the bed, the simple fact that you have another chance to live. Gratitude is not about ignoring pain or pretending life is perfect. It is about honoring what is already here. That shift transforms the ordinary act of breathing into a sacred ritual, invisible to the outside world but powerful enough to alter your inner world. The first breath is also an invitation to humility. You do not control its arrival. You did not will it to come this morning. Life gave it to you freely. Every breath that follows will be given the same way, until the last one. Remembering this keeps pride and entitlement at bay. It teaches you that you are not the master of life, but a participant in it. That awareness softens the edges of anger, frustration, and greed. There is also a subtle joy in realizing that this teacher never abandons you. No matter how chaotic your mind, no matter how heavy your heart, the breath stays. It waits in the background, steady and loyal. By choosing to notice it upon waking, you remind yourself that you are never without support. In Buddhism, this is interdependence, the truth that we are sustained by forces beyond our control, from air to sunlight to the kindness of others. The first breath embodies that, teaching in a way words cannot. As you begin to practice this daily, you may notice a shift in the quality of your mornings. Where once there was immediate restlessness, now there is a pause. Where once the mind rushed ahead, now it lingers in the present. This pause does not erase the challenges of the day, but it changes your posture toward them. Instead of running into life with tension, you walk into it with balance. Instead of being thrown by the first difficulty, you are grounded in something deeper than circumstance. Over time, this practice becomes more than a morning ritual. It becomes a way of living. You begin to see every breath as a reminder. Presence is available, calm is available, life is available. You begin to carry that awareness into conversations, into work, into moments of stress. The breath you met at dawn becomes the breath that steadies you in the middle of the storm. This is how Buddhist wisdom works, not by adding layers of complexity, but by revealing the profound in the simple. The first breath is not glamorous. It does not demand recognition. Yet within it is the entire path: awareness, gratitude, release, humility, presence. When you learn to greet it with open attention, you step into alignment with life itself. So tomorrow morning, when your eyes open, resist the pull of hurry. Do not reach for your phone. Do not replay the weight of yesterday. Instead, meet your oldest, quietest teacher. Feel the air move in, feel it move out. Let that be your first thought, your first act, your first anchor. In that moment, you will discover that calm is not something you must chase, it is something already breathing within you. The breath settles, the mind softens, and in that stillness a question rises. If this moment is enough, why does the heart still crave more? You have air in your lungs, a body that carries you, and the gift of another day. Yet almost as soon as calm touches you, a restlessness appears. The thought of what you lack, what you should be, what you must still chase. This is the hidden current pulling so many away from peace, the belief that life is never quite enough as it is. The words, "I have enough," carry a quiet power. They are not about resignation or laziness. They are a declaration of freedom in a world that constantly whispers you are incomplete. Each advertisement, each comparison, each voice in your head repeats the same message: you need more. More money, more recognition, more possessions, more certainty, more love. And yet, the more you acquire, the more the hunger grows. Desire multiplies like fire fed by dry wood. Buddhist wisdom teaches that to step out of this endless cycle, you do not need more, you need to see what you already hold. Contentment, known as santuti in the teachings, is one of the rarest practices. Not because it is difficult, but because it requires the courage to stop running. To tell yourself each morning, "I have enough," is to disarm the craving that drains your spirit. It is to turn away from the illusion that happiness hides somewhere in the future. The power of this practice lies not in denying your dreams, but in removing the chains of dissatisfaction that keep you blind to the fullness of now. When you rise and whisper those words, you teach the mind to loosen its grip. The nervous system, so often wound tight with striving, eases. The body relaxes into the truth that survival does not depend on endless accumulation. You begin to notice the overlooked abundance around you, the bed that held you through the night, the roof shielding you, the warmth of water, the simple presence of breath. These are not small gifts, they are treasures that many will never know. Saying, "I have enough," transforms them from background details into sources of gratitude. The cycle of desire has been studied for centuries. The Buddha described it as tanha, thirst, a constant grasping that promises satisfaction but delivers suffering. Modern psychology echoes this truth in what is called the hedonic treadmill, the tendency of humans to quickly adapt to gains and return to a baseline of wanting more. You get the promotion, and almost instantly, the glow fades. You buy the new device, and within weeks, it becomes ordinary. The treadmill keeps moving, and you run faster, but peace never arrives. Declaring, "I have enough," is stepping off that treadmill. It is realizing that joy is not found by speeding up, but by stopping altogether. This practice is not about denying ambition or rejecting improvement. Growth and creativity are natural parts of life, but there is a difference between acting from fullness and acting from lack. When you believe you are already enough, every achievement becomes an expression of joy, not a desperate attempt to fill a hole. Work becomes play, goals become paths of discovery, relationships become exchanges of love rather than bargains for worth. The foundation of enoughness changes the flavor of everything you do. On a practical level, these words reshape the brain. Neuroscience shows that repeated thoughts carve pathways in the mind. If the constant refrain is "not enough," the mind becomes wired for scarcity, scanning for what is missing, never satisfied. But if you train it with "I have enough," the brain shifts toward appreciation, rewiring itself for contentment. Over time, this becomes not just a morning affirmation, but a deep-seated truth. The effect reaches beyond the individual. Dissatisfaction fuels much of the world's suffering, greed, exploitation, competition that forgets compassion. When one person practices enoughness, it creates a ripple. The hunger for more begins to soften. You consume less, demand less, harm less. Your presence itself becomes gentler, more generous, because you are no longer living from lack. To wake each morning and affirm enoughness is therefore not only personal medicine, but collective healing. Buddhist stories illustrate this wisdom clearly. Monks and nuns often live with few possessions, robes, a bowl, a place to sleep, yet their faces shine with peace. Not because they are deprived, but because they understand sufficiency. To own little and still feel abundant is a radical act in a culture built on consumerism. But this is not only for monks. Even in ordinary life, you can step into that freedom. The simple breakfast on your table, the voice of someone you love, the stability of the ground beneath you, these are more than enough. When you train your heart to see, this craving begins to lose its hold. There is also a subtle psychological release. Much of human suffering comes from comparison. Looking at others, you measure yourself and find yourself lacking. But "I have enough" breaks that chain. It tells you your life does not need to mirror anyone else's to be whole. Contentment dissolves envy because it roots you in your own soil. You stop reaching into someone else's garden and finally water your own. The practice is deceptively simple. Upon waking, after meeting the breath, speak the words inwardly or aloud. "I have enough." Do not analyze or argue. Let the words rest in the body. Notice how they feel. At first, the mind may resist. It may bring a list of lacks, debts, unfinished goals. That is natural. Stay with the words anyway. Over time, the resistance softens. A shift happens. Not everything is perfect, but everything is sufficient for this moment. Living this way does not make life stagnant. Paradoxically, it opens space for genuine growth. When you no longer chase from lack, you act from freedom. Decisions are clearer, less clouded by desperation. Creativity flows more easily when you are not fixated on proving yourself. Relationships deepen when you no longer seek validation through them. Enoughness becomes the soil from which true flourishing grows. History shows countless examples of this principle. Philosophers, poets, sages across cultures spoke of sufficiency as the heart of wisdom. Stoics called it contentment with what nature provides. Buddhists call it freedom from craving. Even modern minimalists rediscover the same truth. More is not better, enough is better. The words change, but the wisdom remains the same. When you align with this teaching, you begin to see that craving is endless, but contentment is immediate. Craving promises happiness later, contentment delivers peace now. Each morning that you affirm enoughness, you reinforce this truth, protecting your mind from the flood of messages that tell you otherwise. To live with enough is to reclaim your calm life. It does not mean you will never feel desire again. Desire is human. It means you recognize desire as passing, not a master. You hold it lightly, let it come and go, without letting it dictate your worth. In this way, you step into the heart of Buddhist practice, where liberation is not in adding more, but in needing less. So when the morning arrives and the first breath steadies you, let these words follow closely. I have enough. Not tomorrow, not someday now. And in that simple truth, you will discover that the calm life you have been searching for was always within reach, hidden beneath the noise of wanting. When the heart rests in the truth of enoughness, a new doorway opens. Yet even with this recognition, many find themselves still bound to what came before. Words spoken in anger, mistakes made in haste, decisions that did not unfold as hoped all linger like shadows. These memories creep into the present, darkening the freshness of the new day before it has even begun. No amount of possessions or affirmations can free you if yesterday's weight still clings to your chest. To step fully into a calm life, there must be a practice of release at dawn. Letting go is not forgetting. It is not pretending nothing happened. It is the art of meeting the residue of the past and loosening its hold so that what belongs to yesterday does not contaminate today. Without this act, the mind becomes a cluttered room, each regret another piece of furniture blocking the space where peace should live. The early hours are the perfect time to clear it. Morning light carries a silent invitation. Begin again. But the invitation cannot be accepted while carrying bags from the past. One of the simplest methods is recognition. When you wake, notice the thoughts that rush in. They often echo unfinished arguments, disappointments, or self-criticism. Instead of fighting them, label them gently: memory, regret, fear. This labeling interrupts identification. The thought is not you, it is a passing imprint. Neuroscience calls this cognitive diffusion, the ability to separate from thoughts instead of drowning in them. By naming them, you loosen their grip and create space to choose differently. Another method is the practice of forgiveness, not in grand gestures, but in small internal acknowledgements. At dawn, repeat silently, I release myself from yesterday's mistakes. This does not erase accountability. It acknowledges that clinging to errors does not repair them. It only poisons the new day. Forgiveness is not approval, it is freedom. It frees energy that can now be directed toward living wisely today. Buddhism often frames this as compassion metta, directed inward first, then outward. By forgiving yourself, you soften the soil of the heart so that kindness can grow. Physical rituals can deepen this release. As you wake, take a few minutes to sit upright, place your hands on your knees, and exhale deeply, imagining the residue of yesterday leaving your body with the breath. The body holds memory in muscles and tension. A conscious exhale signals release both mentally and physically. Even stretching or washing your face with awareness can serve as symbolic gestures of renewal. Rituals create anchors that remind the body and mind, a new chapter begins now. Writing is another practical tool. Keep a small notebook by your bed. Each morning, before diving into the day, write down what lingers from yesterday's arguments, regrets, anxieties. Close the notebook once written. This act tells the mind, these belong to the page, not to today. Research on expressive writing shows that offloading thoughts reduces rumination and stress. In Buddhist practice, this mirrors confession and letting go, a way to externalize burdens so they no longer sit silently in the mind. Silence itself can also be medicine. Many rush into the day with noise, news, music, notifications. This only gives yesterday's unresolved energy more fuel. Instead, begin with 5 minutes of silence. Sit, breathe, let the residue of the past settle. In silence, thoughts surface and dissolve naturally, like sediment sinking in clear water. Without silence, the water is constantly stirred, never clear. Gratitude, when directed toward lessons, also aids release. At dawn, reflect, what did yesterday teach me? Even in mistakes, there is wisdom. Maybe an argument revealed a hidden insecurity. Maybe a failure showed an area for growth. By extracting the lesson, you transform the burden into fuel. The past no longer chains you because it has been transmuted into knowledge. This aligns with the Buddhist principle of right view, seeing experiences not as punishments, but as opportunities for awakening. There is also the practice of perspective. Each morning, remind yourself of impermanence. Whatever anger or regret you carry, it is already fading, already dissolving. In the scale of life, most of yesterday's troubles are small. To place them in perspective is to weaken their hold. Tell yourself, this is already gone. Like smoke after fire, the event has passed. Only the memory lingers. Why burn again what is already ashes? For relationships, releasing shadows may require active compassion. If someone wronged you, do not feed the story upon waking. Instead, whisper, may they find peace. This shifts the energy from resentment to goodwill. It does not justify harm, but it prevents you from carrying the poison into the new day. Modern psychology calls this compassion meditation. Research shows it reduces anger and increases emotional resilience. In Buddhist terms, it is a practical expression of loving kindness, dissolving hostility before it hardens. Practical daily discipline can support release. Limit the habit of replaying conversations in your mind. When the replay begins, redirect attention to the breath or to physical sensations. Anchor in what is present, the warmth of the blanket, the rhythm of breathing. Each redirection trains the mind away from rumination. Over time, this becomes automatic. The past loses its power to hijack the present. There is also the wisdom of non-attachment. The Buddha often taught that clinging creates suffering, not the events themselves. Each morning reflect, what am I clinging to from yesterday? A word, a look, a missed chance. Ask if clinging helps or harms. Release is not forced forgetting, but conscious loosening of grip. You open your fist and let the stone drop, realizing it was only weighing you down. Morning light itself can be used as practice. Step outside or look through a window. Notice how the world renews each day. Birds do not carry yesterday's song. The sky does not hold yesterday's clouds. Nature models release perfectly. By attuning yourself to this rhythm, you align with reality rather than resisting it. Each sunrise is proof. The world begins again, and so can you. Meditation techniques can deepen this habit. A simple visualization. As you inhale, picture fresh light entering your body. As you exhale, see yesterday's shadows dissolving into space. Do this for a few minutes. Visualization engages the mind, giving form to release. And over time, the body associates morning breath with cleansing. This creates a conditioned response where dawn itself signals freedom. Even small acts of kindness toward yourself are forms of release. Make the bed gently, prepare tea slowly, walk with awareness. Each small action done with presence reinforces the truth that you are not chained to yesterday's turbulence. The body learns new rhythms and the mind follows. Release also requires courage. Many cling to regrets because they fear losing identity. Who am I if I let go of this mistake, this story, this wound? But courage lies in stepping into the unknown of a lighter self. By releasing, you risk emptiness, but in that emptiness, peace grows. The morning is the perfect moment for this risk, because the world itself is reborn. When practiced consistently, releasing shadows at dawn becomes second nature. You begin to wake not with heaviness but with lightness, not with chains but with wings. The past no longer stalks you into the present. Each day is met as new, not as a repetition of old pains. This is liberation in daily life, not a distant goal, but a practical habit. woven into the fabric of each morning. And so the path continues. The breath steadies, the heart whispers enough, and the shadows of yesterday dissolve with the rising Sunday. From here, the mind is ready for the next teaching, to embrace impermanence not as a threat, but as the quiet strength that makes a calm life possible. When the weight of yesterday dissolves, the heart becomes lighter, yet another truth quietly waits to be remembered. Even with forgiveness, even with release, the mind still clings to certainty. It wants comfort to last forever and pain to disappear instantly. But life refuses both requests. It moves like water, never still, never fixed. To meet life calmly, you must carry a mantra that softens the grip of both joy and sorrow. This too will change. These 4 words are not a warning, they are a doorway into resilience. They teach that no state is permanent, no feeling eternal, no success or failure final. The moment you open your eyes, life is already shifting. Cells are renewing, the body is aging, thoughts are passing. To deny impermanence is to fight reality itself. To accept it is to rest in the flow of what is real. Anxiety grows when the mind tries to freeze time. Peace comes when you release that effort and align with the movement of change. Internalizing impermanence each morning reshapes your relationship with both hardship and pleasure. When faced with difficulty, the mantra offers comfort. Fear loses its sharpness when you remind yourself that no storm lasts forever. Even the deepest grief moves, even the hardest moment bends to time. Science confirms this. Emotional intensity follows a natural curve. It rises, peaks, and fades. Holding on to "this too will change" allows you to ride the wave without drowning in it. Pleasure also transforms under this light. Instead of clinging desperately to joy, you savor it more fully, knowing it will pass. The morning sun on your face, laughter at breakfast, the warmth of tea, all are fleeting. But fleeting does not mean meaningless. On the contrary, impermanence makes them precious. A flower is beautiful not because it lasts, but because it blooms briefly. To know this is to treasure without clinging, to love without fear of loss. Buddhist teachings describe impermanence as anicca, one of the 3 marks of existence. Everything that arises will pass away. To resist this truth is to suffer. Yet when you meet it with awareness, suffering softens. At dawn, whispering, "This too will change," plants resilience in the mind. It prepares you for the day's unpredictability. Traffic jams, arguments, missed opportunities, they no longer feel like permanent prisons but temporary weather. You learn to stand in the storm without losing faith in clear skies. Practical methods anchor this mantra. One practice is reflection on natural cycles. Notice the morning light as different from yesterday's, the air slightly cooler or warmer, the body feeling stronger or weaker. These subtle shifts remind you that change is constant. Another method is journaling daily about one thing that has already changed relationships, moods, circumstances. By recording these transitions, you train the mind to trust impermanence instead of fearing it. Breath awareness also reinforces the mantra. Each inhale arises, stays for a moment, and passes. Each exhale follows the same pattern. The body itself is a teacher of impermanence, showing you change thousands of times a day. By connecting with this rhythm upon waking, you embody the teaching instead of just repeating it. Neuroscience supports this wisdom. Studies on neuroplasticity reveal that the brain is constantly reshaping itself. Thoughts and emotions are not fixed traits but patterns that can shift with awareness. By telling yourself, "This too will change," you remind the mind of its own adaptability. This rewires anxiety into resilience, teaching the brain to expect transition rather than cling to permanence. Impermanence also brings humility. Success can tempt the mind into arrogance, believing triumph will last forever. But the mantra grounds you. It reminds you that fortune shifts, titles fade, beauty changes. This humility softens the ego and keeps relationships healthy. When you know that even admiration will pass, you treat it gently rather than grasping it. At the same time, impermanence heals despair. Knowing that sadness shifts keeps you from believing it defines you. A broken heart feels endless, but the mantra whispers, "Not forever." History is filled with survivors who endured unthinkable pain, yet time carried them through. To awaken each morning with these words is to align yourself with countless others who found strength in the truth of change. This practice extends beyond the self. When you internalize impermanence, compassion naturally deepens. You recognize that others too are caught in cycles of gain and loss, joy and grief. Their anger may pass, their suffering will shift, their mistakes will fade. This view prevents harsh judgment. It allows you to see people not as fixed identities but as beings in transition. Even mundane frustrations soften under impermanence. A spilled cup, a late train, a rude comment all shrink when placed in the frame of, "This too will change." You realize that annoyance is temporary, not a verdict on your day. By repeating the mantra, you reclaim perspective and keep your calm life intact. Rituals can help anchor this truth. At dawn, before leaving your bed, press your hands together, repeat the phrase softly. Carry it into your morning walk or while preparing tea. Let it echo through small actions until it becomes second nature. Over time, the words stop being an intellectual idea and become lived wisdom. You begin to feel impermanence not as threat but as rhythm, like the tide or the turning of seasons. Impermanence also invites you to live with urgency, not panic. If all passes, then this moment matters, not in a fearful way, but in a meaningful one. You no longer postpone love, gratitude, or courage because you know opportunities vanish. Each morning, remind yourself, this day will change into night, this chance may never return. Such awareness sharpens the value of now. This truth does not strip life of joy, it amplifies it. Knowing the smile of a friend will one day be a memory makes it shine brighter today. Understanding that health will shift makes you treat the body with care. Realizing that even your breath is borrowed makes each inhale sacred. Far from being bleak, impermanence makes life more vivid, more tender. The teaching also dismantles fear of death. Each morning you practice with small changes, the fading of dreams, the shift of moods, the passing of hours. This prepares the mind to meet the final change with less resistance. Death is not separate from life, it is the completion of impermanence. By whispering, "This too will change," you train yourself to greet even that transition with calm. Resilience grows from this soil. The person who resists change breaks easily when it comes. The person who accepts change bends, adapts, survives. By repeating the mantra daily, you condition your mind to bend rather than break. Resilience is not toughness, it is flexibility. Like bamboo, you stay rooted while moving with the wind. Practical daily examples show its power. When success comes, you hold it lightly, knowing it will shift. When failure strikes, you bear it patiently, knowing it will pass. When joy floods in, you savor deeply without clutching. When grief arrives, you allow tears without despair. The mantra equips you for all weather, making you steady in a world that never stops changing. The beauty of this practice is its simplicity. 4 words, spoken each morning, can reframe your entire relationship with life. They do not erase difficulty, but they strip it of permanence. They do not dissolve joy, but they make it brighter. Over time, they weave into your consciousness, turning fear into acceptance, restlessness into presence. So as the sun rises and the shadows of yesterday have been released, carry this mantra with you. This too will change. Say it softly, breathe it deeply, let it echo through your day. In those words lies the heart of resilience, the calm acceptance that makes peace possible in a world that never stays the same. When the mantra of impermanence settles in the heart, a new kind of awareness arises. If everything changes, then waking itself is not guaranteed. The moment your eyes open is not ordinary, it is a rare gift. While you stir from sleep, countless others do not. Their stories ended in the night, while yours continues. To treat this as routine is to overlook one of the greatest truths of all. Life is not promised. Each morning is a silent offering, one that carries both fragility and freedom. The recognition that you woke today while thousands did not is not meant to create fear, it is meant to ignite presence. To realize you have been given one more sunrise is to be reminded that your life is not disposable. When the mind falls into complaint or dullness, this awareness cuts through like a bell. You are alive, breathing, standing at the edge of possibility. That fact alone is extraordinary, even if nothing else in the day goes as planned. This awareness brings urgency, but not the restless kind. It brings a gentle urgency, the kind that pushes you to live vividly rather than wastefully. Instead of drifting through the hours as though they are infinite, you begin to treat them as precious. Small acts, drinking water, stepping outside, hearing a bird become infused with meaning, because you know that these experiences, though simple, are denied to those who did not wake. Their absence deepens your appreciation for presence. Buddhism calls this reflection on death maranasati, mindfulness of mortality. Far from being morbid, it is a pathway to gratitude and clarity. By remembering that life can end at any moment, attachment softens, priorities sharpen, and joy becomes sharper. Monastics are often encouraged to meditate on death daily, not to become heavy-hearted, but to avoid wasting time on trivial pursuits. When you remind yourself each morning that waking itself is a gift, you begin to live with the wisdom of not postponing what matters. This practice also clears away the illusion of entitlement. Many believe tomorrow is certain, that life owes them decades. But the truth is harsher and kinder at the same time. Nothing is owed, everything is borrowed. To live as though every morning is guaranteed breeds laziness of the heart. To know it is not guaranteed creates reverence. You bow inwardly to the day, grateful to have been chosen again, even if just for this sunrise. Practical reflection can deepen this understanding. As you wake, pause before rising and silently acknowledge, "Today I woke, others did not." Let this not create dread but humility. Feel the weight of those unfulfilled breaths and allow it to guide you into presence. Each sip of tea, each step across the floor becomes a way of honoring the chance you still have. Living with this awareness also transforms relationships. Words of love are spoken more freely because you understand they may not have another chance. Anger is softened because holding it seems foolish in light of mortality. Petty resentments lose their grip, replaced by a deeper urge to connect sincerely. Awareness of death is not about loss, it is about love sharpened by impermanence. There is also liberation in this truth. Much anxiety comes from over-planning, from believing the future is a guarantee to be secured. When you remember that waking is itself a gift, the pressure to control every outcome loosens. You stop living in the shadow of tomorrow and begin to inhabit today more fully. This shift from future obsession to present appreciation is at the core of a calm life. History is full of reminders of sudden endings. The young and healthy, the old and weary, the powerful and the ordinary all pass when their time arrives. To deny this is to live in illusion. To accept it is to live in alignment with reality. Each morning you are spared is an act of fortune beyond your control. Gratitude for this fortune naturally flows when you pause to acknowledge it. Even small frustrations shrink under this reflection. If you woke today while others did not, How heavy is a traffic jam? How serious is a delayed email? Perspective sharpens when mortality is remembered. You see clearly what deserves your energy and what does not. The mind becomes more disciplined, less scattered, because it is guided by the awareness that time is finite. From a spiritual view, this recognition also brings compassion. Knowing that thousands did not wake deepens empathy for those who lost loved ones that morning. It connects you to the vast web of humanity, reminding you that life is both fragile and shared. Instead of isolating you, awareness of death unites you with others. It teaches that to be alive today is not only a gift for yourself, but also an opportunity to serve, to uplift, to contribute. Practical exercises can help cultivate this awareness. One method is keeping a small stone or bead by your bed. Each morning, hold it and remind yourself, I woke today, others did not. May I honor this day. This tactile ritual anchors the thought, making it less abstract and more embodied. Another practice is writing down 3 ways you will live vividly today: acts of kindness, moments of joy, or meaningful work. By setting intention through the lens of mortality, you ensure the day is not wasted in trivialities. Science, too, supports the value of mortality reflection. Studies show that when people are reminded of death in healthy, mindful ways, they often report increased gratitude, stronger relationships, and greater clarity of values. This aligns with Buddhist teaching, showing that awareness of death does not depress but awakens. It pushes people toward living with authenticity. Living vividly does not mean chasing extremes. It means engaging fully with ordinary life, eating with attention, listening with care, walking with awareness. These acts become profound when you realize they could have been denied. A calm life is not about dramatic adventures, but about steady presence. Mortality awareness fuels this by sharpening focus on what is here, not what is imagined. This truth also nurtures resilience. When challenges arise, remembering that life itself is a gift prevents despair from consuming you. Even in pain, the fact of waking is a foundation of strength. You see that as long as breath continues, possibility remains. This recognition empowers you to keep moving, to keep creating, to keep loving, even when circumstances are hard. For those who struggle with fear of death, this practice offers another gift: familiarity. By reflecting on mortality daily, the fear softens. Death becomes less of a monster hiding in the dark and more of a reality you are learning to befriend. Instead of resisting, you grow comfortable with its presence, allowing you to live with less fear and more openness. In the Buddhist texts, it is said that to remember death is to remember life. They are not opposites but mirrors. One gives meaning to the other. When you wake and acknowledge this truth, you join a lineage of countless practitioners who used mortality as a compass for living wisely. The silent gift of waking is not flashy. It is not celebrated by crowds, yet it is more valuable than any external achievement. Each day you wake is another chance to love, to learn, to grow, to contribute. To forget this is to squander what is most precious. To remember it is to live fully, even in the simplest moments. So as you rise tomorrow, let your first thought not be complaint, but gratitude for the sheer fact of being alive. Whisper inwardly, I woke today, others did not. Let me live well. In that moment, you will feel the radical truth that life itself is the greatest gift, and with it, the invitation to live vividly, gently, and fully present. When the quiet truth of waking settles into gratitude, another challenge quickly appears. Though life itself feels like a gift, many still look in the mirror and feel unworthy of it. The eyes stare back, carrying years of judgment, disappointment, and comparison. Instead of beginning the day with kindness, the first thought becomes criticism. This silent habit poisons the hours that follow. To protect the calm life, there must be a shift. The mirror becomes not a place of self-attack, but a place of self-compassion. To look at your reflection each morning and affirm, "I am worthy of kindness today," is more radical than it sounds. The world constantly teaches that worth must be earned through achievement, beauty, approval, or perfection. But Buddhism, like many wisdom traditions, turns this upside down. It says worth is not earned, but inherent. Every being, no matter their mistakes or flaws, carries Buddha nature, the capacity for awakening, dignity, and compassion. When you greet yourself with kindness, you align with that truth instead of the lies of self-rejection. Self-compassion begins with recognition of suffering. You cannot soften toward yourself if you deny your own pain. Each morning, as you look into your own eyes, acknowledge the weight you carry, the doubts, the fears, the wounds. This acknowledgement is not weakness, it is honesty. Research by psychologist Kristin Neff shows that self-compassion reduces anxiety and depression because it replaces harsh self-judgment with warmth. By meeting yourself with tenderness, you heal the wounds caused by years of inner criticism. The words, "I am worthy of kindness today," act as a counterspell to old conditioning. Many wake and immediately measure themselves. Am I successful enough? Attractive enough? Disciplined enough? This measuring creates a life of endless deficiency. But when you replace it with worthiness, you dismantle the cycle of not enoughness. You remind yourself that being human, breathing and trying, is already enough for kindness. This practice does not excuse harmful behavior. Compassion is not indulgence, it is holding yourself accountable without cruelty. If you erred yesterday, self-compassion does not mean denying it. It means saying, "I made a mistake, but I am still worthy of kindness." With that, you create the strength to learn and change instead of drowning in shame. Buddhism teaches that guilt can paralyze, but compassion heals and moves forward. The mirror serves as a powerful tool because it reflects not just the body, but the relationship you hold with yourself. How you respond to that reflection shapes your day. If you begin with hostility, the mind carries hostility into work, relationships, and choices. If you begin with gentleness, that same gentleness colors your actions toward others. Compassion is contagious, and it begins with the one you face in the glass. Practical steps can anchor this practice. Each morning, stand before the mirror for a few moments. Instead of scanning for flaws, look into your own eyes and silently affirm, "I am worthy of kindness today." Repeat until the words feel real, even if at first they feel awkward. Over time, the brain learns to accept them. This repetition rewires the pathways of self-talk, replacing criticism with care. Small gestures strengthen the effect. Place a hand on your heart while you speak the words. Research shows that physical touch, even from oneself, releases oxytocin, the hormone linked to bonding and soothing. You become your own source of comfort, no longer waiting for external validation to feel cared for. This practice also interrupts generational cycles. Many inherit self-criticism from parents, teachers, or culture. By meeting yourself with compassion, you break that chain. You stop passing harshness to yourself and to others. Your children, friends, and partners see a model of self-acceptance and learn from it. In this way, the mirror practice extends far beyond you. It becomes an act of collective healing. From a Buddhist view, compassion is not selective. If you vow to treat all beings with kindness, you cannot exclude yourself. To reject your own worth is to live in contradiction. By affirming kindness to yourself, you practice consistency. You embody the teaching that compassion knows no boundaries. Some may resist, believing that self-criticism fuels growth. But research shows the opposite. Harshness breeds fear and paralysis, while compassion encourages resilience and motivation. When you know you are safe in your own regard, you take risks, learn from failure, and persist. Kindness does not make you weak, it makes you braver. Practical extensions of the practice include writing small notes on your mirror, words like worthy, enough, or kindness. These reminders interrupt habitual criticism. Another method is guided reflection. As you look at your reflection, think of yourself as a dear friend. Would you speak cruelly to them? If not, why speak cruelly to yourself? Treat yourself with the same gentleness you would offer someone you love. Over time, the mirror practice changes not only self-image but daily behavior. People who cultivate self-compassion are less reactive, more patient, and less prone to burnout. They know how to pace themselves, to rest without guilt, to say no without shame. These habits are not laziness, they are the fruits of recognizing worth. Buddhism often teaches metta, or loving kindness meditation. This practice usually begins by offering kindness to oneself. May I be safe, may I be happy, may I be free from suffering. The mirror practice is an extension of this. By linking the meditation to the physical act of looking at yourself, you integrate compassion into the most ordinary of routines. The mirror also reminds you of impermanence. The face you see will change. Lines will deepen, hair will gray, skin will shift. Meeting yourself with kindness now trains you to continue when those changes come. Instead of mourning youth or resisting age, you greet each version of yourself with care. This transforms aging from a source of suffering into a practice of acceptance. On difficult mornings, the practice may feel impossible. The critic may shout louder than the affirmation. In these moments, soften the words, I am learning to be worthy of kindness today. Progress is not perfection. The effort itself is an act of compassion. Even on the hardest days, you can offer yourself a fraction of gentleness, and that fraction can carry you through. This practice also heals the body-mind split. Many treat their body as an enemy, judging its size, strength, or limitations. By looking at yourself and affirming worth, you begin to honor the body as ally. You shift from hostility to gratitude, from criticism to respect. The body becomes not a problem to fix, but a companion to care for. In time, the mirror ceases to be a source of dread. It becomes a quiet sanctuary, a place of renewal. You no longer brace yourself against your reflection. You meet it like an old friend, with warmth and acceptance. This shift changes not only mornings, but the entire way you walk through life. To live a calm life is to live free from inner war. The mirror practice disarms that war. By affirming, I am worthy of kindness today, you set down weapons of self-attack and pick up tools of care. Each morning becomes a chance to begin not with hostility, but with love. So tomorrow, when you stand before the glass, resist the urge to measure or criticize. Meet your own gaze gently. Let the words rise softly. I am worthy of kindness today. With those words, you carry compassion from the mirror into the day, shaping not only how you see yourself, but how you treat the world around you. When the mirror softens into kindness, the heart begins to rest in its own worth. Yet kindness alone is not enough if every day feels like repetition, as though you are trapped in yesterday's story. Too often mornings arrive only to be treated as another line in a script already written. The alarm rings, the same tasks return, the same memories rise, and life feels less like living and more like replaying. But the truth waiting in the quiet of dawn is different. Every morning is not routine, it is rebirth. To see the sunrise as rebirth is to recognize that you are not bound by yesterday. The mistakes you made, the arguments you had, the disappointments you carried, they do not own this day unless you invite them. Waking is not simply continuation, it is renewal. Just as the world itself begins fresh with each dawn, you too are offered a new incarnation, unshackled from what has already passed. This shift of perception changes everything. If the morning is routine, you carry old burdens forward. If the morning is rebirth, you enter light and unencumbered. Buddhist thought emphasizes this truth. Life is a chain of moments, each one dying into the next. What you were is not fixed. Who you are is always becoming. The rebirth of morning is not metaphorical. It is reality. Cells renew, thoughts shift, time moves. Each sunrise is proof that life recreates itself endlessly. Treating morning as rebirth also awakens freedom. Many live as though identity is carved in stone, defined by past failures or successes. But each dawn erases yesterday's script. The self you carry is a construction, and constructions can be rebuilt. When you meet the day as a new life, you open to possibility. You are no longer prisoner to who you were. You are participant in who you are becoming. This perspective also nurtures resilience. If today is new, then despair from yesterday loses its authority. You can begin again, not someday, but now. Even deep suffering can be met with the truth that nothing fixes you in place. Each day is a chance to rise differently. Rebirth is not denial of pain. It is the courage to keep moving forward despite it. Practical methods make this view real. One practice is to pause at sunrise or upon waking and silently declare, "Today I am born again." Let the words settle, not as poetry but as truth. Feel the freshness of breath, the newness of light. By anchoring yourself to this declaration, you train the mind to see morning not as repetition but as creation. Another method is ritual cleansing. Wash your face, shower, or even drink water with awareness, as though washing away yesterday's residue. These acts, ordinary and routine, become sacred in intention. They signal to the body and mind, I step into new life. Ancient traditions often use water as symbol of rebirth. You can embody that symbolism each morning with simple gestures. Journaling can also strengthen this perspective. Instead of listing tasks, write, "Who do I choose to be today?" Let the words arise freely. They may be small, patient, attentive, gentle, or they may be bold, courageous, creative, forgiving. Each entry is a reminder that you are not bound to yesterday's identity. You are always free to step into new qualities. From a scientific view, neuroplasticity supports this truth. The brain rewires itself daily. Every thought and action lays down new connections. By treating each morning as rebirth, you align with the brain's natural capacity for renewal. You choose consciously which pathways to strengthen, instead of unconsciously replaying old patterns. Seeing morning as rebirth also deepens gratitude. To be given another chance is not trivial. So many do not wake. So many wake with no freedom. To recognize your own freedom each morning, to breathe, to choose, to begin again, is to honor life's generosity. Gratitude then becomes not a forced practice, but a natural response to rebirth. This view also transforms time. Routine compresses hours into monotony. Rebirth expands them into opportunity. The same breakfast, the same commute, the same tasks can feel alive when seen through the lens of newness. You begin to notice details once overlooked. The light on the table, the taste of food, the sound of footsteps. Rebirth sharpens perception, turning ordinary into extraordinary. It also heals the weight of regret. Many lie trapped in stories of what they should have done differently. Morning as rebirth interrupts that story. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can live today differently. Each dawn is a chance to correct course, to embody values neglected, to love more openly. Regret loses its sting when every day is recognized as opportunity to begin again. This perspective influences relationships as well. Too often, we lock others into fixed identities. The friend who disappointed us, the partner who hurt us, the colleague who failed us. But if each day is rebirth, then they too are new. Meeting them with fresh eyes softens resentment and allows change. You free them from the prison of your judgment, just as you free yourself from your own. Spiritual traditions across cultures echo this truth. In Christianity, each morning is mercy renewed. In Stoicism, each day is a gift undeserved. In Buddhism, each moment is a birth and a death. To live with this awareness is to walk in harmony with wisdom that transcends time and culture. Practical extensions are endless. Begin conversations with openness, as though meeting the person anew. Approach work not as routine, but as a chance to contribute freshly. Treat setbacks not as final verdicts, but as part of the day's new unfolding. Rebirth is not theory, it is applied perspective. The body too can be honored as reborn. Stretch gently upon waking, treating the body not as tired continuation but as renewed companion. Thank it for carrying you into another day. This gratitude shifts how you treat it, with nourishment instead of neglect, with movement instead of disregard. Rebirth also fosters creativity. When you know you are new each morning, you dare to experiment. You are less attached to fixed roles, more willing to explore. This creativity does not require grand projects. It may be as simple as preparing food differently, speaking with more honesty, or noticing beauty in new places. Life becomes art when seen through rebirth. This perspective also heals fear of failure. If today is rebirth, then failure yesterday cannot define you. You can attempt again with fresh energy. Resilience grows naturally when identity is not chained to past outcomes. Each attempt is a new life, free of yesterday's scars. Even suffering can be held differently. Pain may persist, but rebirth offers new ways of relating to it. The body may hurt, but the mind can meet it freshly, with patience today that was absent yesterday. The heart may grieve, but each morning brings slightly different light to that grief. Rebirth does not erase suffering, but it offers space for it to evolve. Over time, this practice changes your sense of self. You no longer cling to rigid stories about who you are. You begin to see yourself as fluid, unfolding, becoming. This loosens the grip of identity and brings freedom. You realize you are not the fixed character of yesterday, you are the living process of today. So when dawn arrives, let it not pass as routine. Pause, breathe, and step into it as rebirth. Declare inwardly, "Today I begin again." Let this truth ripple through your actions, your relationships, your choices. Life is not repetition, it is constant creation. Each sunrise confirms it. To live this way is to live vividly, lightly, and free from the chains of yesterday. When you begin to see morning as rebirth, something profound shifts in how you approach the hours ahead. If every sunrise is a new life, then how you step into it matters deeply. Yet most people rush into the day as if chased emails before breath, chores before silence, worries before presence. The sacred chance of renewal is buried beneath the machinery of productivity. But there is another way, a gentler way, learning the subtle art of non-doing. Non-doing does not mean laziness, neglect, or resistance to life. It means honoring being before doing. It is a pause that anchors you in the essence of life before the endless tasks begin. In Buddhist practice, this is close to Wu Wei, effortless action, the state where you align with the flow of reality instead of forcing yourself against it. To practice non-doing in the morning is to remind yourself that your worth is not measured by output, it is measured by presence. This pause is not empty, it is full of richness often missed when rushing. In stillness, you notice the warmth of breath, the quiet hum of the world waking, the soft rhythm of your own heart. These subtle experiences remind you that life is happening now, not in the list of tasks waiting. By cultivating stillness first, you carry clarity into whatever comes next. Productivity without presence scatters the mind. Productivity rooted in being flows naturally. Practicing non-doing each morning also heals the nervous system. The modern world pulls the body into constant stress, with cortisol levels spiking at the first ping of the phone. But if you begin the day with stillness, sitting quietly, breathing, or simply resting, you send the opposite signal. Safety, calm, stability. This activates the parasympathetic system, setting the tone for a day lived from balance rather than reactivity. This art also teaches humility. Doing often feeds ego, the sense that your value lies in accomplishments. Non-doing reminds you that you are already whole without achievements. You exist, therefore you are worthy. By sitting quietly, you dissolve the illusion that you must prove yourself every morning. This practice frees you from the cycle of over-identification with roles and responsibilities. Practical approaches are simple yet powerful. Upon waking, resist the pull of devices. Instead, sit on the edge of the bed or on a cushion. Close your eyes, rest your hands loosely, and simply be. Thoughts will rise. Let them. The point is not to eliminate them, but to stop chasing them. This is non-doing, allowing thoughts, sensations, and sounds to exist without interference. Just 5 minutes of this can change the texture of your entire day. Another method is mindful observation. Sit by a window and watch the light slowly expand across the room. Hear the birds or distant hums. Let yourself be a witness rather than a worker. This strengthens patience, teaching that life unfolds without your constant pushing. Witnessing is participation in life without grasping. Non-doing can also include gentle practices like sipping tea slowly or lying in bed for a few extra breaths, fully aware. The difference is intention. Instead of rushing, you linger with awareness. Instead of consuming the moment to get to the next, you inhabit it. This teaches the mind that value lies in being present, not in finishing. Philosophically, this practice dismantles the illusion of control. Doing often gives the false impression that you are steering everything, but sitting in non-doing reveals a deeper truth. Much of life happens without your effort. The heart beats, the breath flows, the sun rises, all without your control. Recognizing this releases the burden of over-responsibility. You learn to trust life's rhythm, to cooperate instead of dominate. Science supports this as well. Studies show that mindfulness and stillness practices increase gray matter in brain regions linked to emotional regulation and focus. Just a few minutes of stillness in the morning strengthens attention and reduces stress throughout the day. The body and mind both benefit when being precedes doing. This practice also shifts your relationship with time. Instead of beginning the day already racing against the clock, you begin by expanding it. Time feels abundant when you pause, scarce when you rush. By practicing non-doing, you discover that you can meet the day spaciously rather than frantically, even if the tasks ahead remain the same. Non-doing nurtures creativity. When the mind is not forced into constant production, insights arise naturally. Many breakthroughs in art and science came not from frantic effort, but from quiet moments of rest. By practicing stillness each morning, you create fertile ground for inspiration to surface throughout the day. Compassion also grows from this soil. Rushing often breeds impatience, but stillness breeds gentleness. When you honor yourself with silence, you naturally extend that patience to others. You meet them not as obstacles to your productivity, but as fellow beings moving through their own rhythms. Non-doing becomes a subtle act of kindness. Even spiritual growth is rooted in this art. The Buddha often spoke of stopping, of learning to rest in awareness rather than chasing craving. Non-doing in the morning mirrors this teaching. It trains you to value presence, to recognize that awakening is not found in more effort, but in seeing clearly what already is. Resistance to non-doing is natural. The mind, conditioned by culture, equates stillness with waste. But ask yourself, what is truly wasted? 5 minutes of silence or a whole day lived in unconscious rushing? The answer becomes clear with practice. Non-doing does not waste time. It gives time back its depth. Over time, this art becomes second nature. The day no longer begins with a jolt of urgency, but with a breath of presence. You still accomplish tasks, but from a grounded place. You still meet challenges, but with clarity instead of chaos. Non-doing is not absence of life, it is the foundation of living well. So tomorrow, before the machinery of productivity turns on, sit in stillness, breathe, notice, be. Honor being before doing. In this pause lies the strength, clarity, and peace that carry you through the day. This is the subtle gift of non-doing, the reminder that your calm life begins not with effort, but with presence. When stillness has been honored and the body has learned the value of non-doing, the mind itself reveals its hidden influence. In that fragile space between sleep and wakefulness, a single thought often rises first. It may be a worry, a memory, a hope, or even a harsh self-judgment. Left unchecked, that one thought can color the entire day, shaping mood, decisions, and even how the body feels. This is the unseen weight of thought, small in appearance, but immense in effect. The Buddha often compared the mind to a fertile field. Whatever seed is planted will grow, whether it is nourishing or poisonous. The thought that greets you in the morning is that seed. If it is heavy with resentment or fear, the mind cultivates a day of tension. If it carries gratitude or purpose, the same mind cultivates clarity and ease. Most people let this seed form unconsciously. The invitation of practice is to choose it with awareness. The science of cognition supports this truth. Studies show that the first thought or emotional state upon waking sets off chemical cascades that influence hormones, attention, and decision-making for hours. A stressed or self-critical thought increases cortisol, narrowing focus and fueling reactivity. A calm or grateful thought activates the prefrontal cortex, strengthening patience and empathy. The body literally follows the tone set by the first seed of thought. To work skillfully with this, begin by noticing. As you wake, ask yourself gently, what was the first thought? Do not judge it. Simply observe. Perhaps it was about unfinished work, about someone you love, or about something you regret. By noticing, you step outside the automatic grip of that thought. Observation itself weakens its unconscious power. Once observation is steady, you can begin to plant deliberately. Before sleeping, set the intention for the first thought of the morning. Whisper to yourself, when I wake, may my first thought be one of gratitude, or may it be kindness, or may it be courage. This instruction, given to the mind before rest, often bears fruit at dawn. Over time, the mind learns to greet the day with chosen seeds rather than random ones. Practical examples help anchor this. If your mornings often begin with dread about work, replace the first thought with, I will meet today with steadiness. If you wake with loneliness, plant the thought, I am connected to all beings through breath and life. If you wake restless, choose, this day is enough. These phrases are not empty affirmations, they are deliberate seeds, aligned with reality, yet infused with care. Meditation strengthens this further. Each morning, sit for a few minutes and choose one thought to repeat silently. Let it fill the mind like sunlight. Neuroscience shows that repetition consolidates neural pathways. By repeating a beneficial thought, you create grooves in the brain that make it easier for the mind to return to them during the day. In this way, one thought becomes the foundation for countless actions. The weight of one thought also shows in relationships. If you wake thinking critically of yourself, you carry that harshness into interactions. Words become sharper, patience thinner. If you wake with a thought of kindness, you carry that same energy outward. The people around you may never know where it began, but they feel its presence. Thus, the quality of one thought upon waking can ripple into entire networks of connection. Philosophically, this practice reveals the emptiness of permanence. A single thought can shift perception so drastically that the world appears different, though nothing external changed. This demonstrates that experience is shaped more by the mind than by circumstances. To realize this is to reclaim power. You cannot always control events, but you can choose the thought that colors how you meet them. Resistance often arises. The critic says, "One thought cannot matter that much," but notice your own history. Recall mornings when the first thought was anxious. Did the day not feel heavier? Recall mornings when it was peaceful. Did the hours not flow differently? This is not exaggeration. It is direct experience. To deny it is to ignore your own evidence. Practical tools can reinforce the habit. Keep a small card on your nightstand with the thought you wish to plant. Read it first thing, or place a reminder on your phone screen that appears before other notifications. Use objects in your environment as anchors, so the chosen thought greets you before unconscious ones rush in. Spiritual traditions long understood this. In Buddhism, practitioners recite verses upon waking, dedicating the day to mindfulness and compassion. These verses are not ritual for ritual's sake. They are methods of planting the first seed with intention. Monks, laypeople, and meditators across centuries have used this technique to shape their days in alignment with wisdom. The weight of one thought also affects health. Research shows that positive morning thoughts improve cardiovascular markers, strengthen immunity, and reduce chronic stress. The body does not separate mind from matter. It responds to thought as if it were reality. Choosing a nourishing first thought is therefore not just spiritual, it is physiological care. Over time, this practice changes identity. You begin to see yourself not as victim of thoughts, but as gardener of them. Instead of passively inheriting the seeds of conditioning, you actively cultivate. Identity shifts from "I am anxious" to "I can choose steadiness," from "I am unworthy" to "I can affirm kindness." This shift is profound because it breaks the illusion that thoughts define you. Compassion also grows here. When you see how much your own mind is swayed by one thought, you understand how others are too. Their anger, their joy, their despair may come from seeds planted unconsciously. This softens judgment. You meet them with patience, knowing that they too are gardeners, some skilled, some still learning. This awareness reshapes even ambition. Goals pursued from anxious first thoughts often feel desperate, unsatisfying. Goals pursued from steady or grateful first thoughts feel aligned, joyful. The same actions look different when the root thought is different. Thus, planting skillful thoughts is not small, it shapes the entire architecture of life. The practice does not require perfection. Some mornings the old seeds will appear: fear, resentment, criticism. That is natural. The skill is in noticing and gently replacing them with chosen ones. Over time, the balance shifts. The garden grows richer with thoughts that support peace, kindness, and clarity. So tomorrow, when you wake, pause before rushing forward. Listen for the first thought. If it is heavy, acknowledge it and release it. If it is kind, nurture it. And if you wish, plant a new one deliberately. Whisper a thought that lifts, steadies, and connects you. In that small act, you carry the seed of an entire day. The weight of one thought is immense, but when chosen with care, it is the weight that builds a calm life. When the power of one thought is understood, the gaze naturally turns toward the vessel that carries those thoughts, the body. It is easy to forget that every idea, every choice, every experience passes through this physical form. Yet too often, the body is treated as a servant to be commanded, rather than a companion to be honored. The morning becomes a list of demands: move faster, look better, endure more, without a moment of gratitude for the fact that the body woke with you at all. To live a calm life, you must learn to bow to the body before expecting anything from it. This bow is not about ritual or performance. It is an inward gesture of respect. It says, "Thank you for breathing through the night, for carrying me into another day, for keeping me alive even when I forget you." Most of your body's work happens unseen: the beating of the heart, the filtering of blood, the repairing of cells. Gratitude for these hidden labors shifts your relationship from one of criticism to one of reverence. Buddhism teaches that the body is a precious human birth, a rare chance for practice. Without it, there is no path, no meditation, no awakening. Yet many spend their lives resenting it: too old, too weak, too flawed. Gratitude transforms this resentment into partnership. By bowing inwardly each morning, you acknowledge the body not as an obstacle but as your ally on the path. Practical ways to bow begin simply. Place your hand on your chest or abdomen as you wake and acknowledge, this body is still here. Feel the pulse, the breath, the warmth. Let that awareness soften you. Even if the body aches, even if it is not how you wish it to be, it is still carrying you. Gratitude in this moment is not conditional. It is unconditional appreciation for life itself. This practice has scientific echoes. Research shows that body appreciation leads to higher well-being, better health habits, and lower levels of anxiety. When gratitude is expressed toward the body, stress hormones decrease and self-care behaviors increase. People who respect their bodies are more likely to nourish them, rest them, and move them with kindness. Bowing to the body in the morning is not only spiritual, it directly influences physical health. The art of bowing also interrupts cycles of self-criticism. Many begin the day scanning the mirror for flaws or feeling disappointment in pain or fatigue. This sets a tone of hostility that lingers all day. By starting with gratitude instead, you change the foundation. Even if you later notice imperfections, they are held within a wider frame of respect. Criticism loses its sharpness because appreciation has already spoken first. Bowing does not deny reality. If the body is unwell, you do not pretend otherwise. But you recognize that even in illness, the body is doing its best. The immune system fights unseen battles. The muscles strive to support you. The lungs continue to draw air. Gratitude softens the frustration of limitation and replaces it with compassion. You become less of a harsh master and more of a gentle caretaker. This practice also deepens mindfulness. When you bow to the body, you notice sensations that are often ignored: the stretch of muscles, the rhythm of heartbeat, the temperature of breath. Awareness of the body anchors you in the present moment. The Buddha himself taught mindfulness of the body as the first foundation of awareness, because the body is always here, always real. By beginning the day this way, you root yourself in direct experience before abstractions and worries intrude. From a relational perspective, bowing to the body enhances empathy. When you treat your own body with respect, you extend that respect to the bodies of others. You recognize that every person you meet is carried by a body with its own struggles, strengths, and scars. This understanding reduces judgment and increases compassion, both for yourself and others. There are countless ways to embody this gratitude. Some stretch gently in the morning, not to force performance, but to thank the body for its range of movement. Others drink water slowly, acknowledging the body's thirst. Some whisper words of appreciation: thank you for my legs, thank you for my hands, thank you for my breath. These small gestures, repeated daily, transform the body from target of complaint into source of reverence. Philosophically, bowing to the body challenges cultural conditioning. Many societies treat the body as a machine to be optimized or a product to be judged. By practicing gratitude, you resist these narratives. You declare that worth is not dependent on appearance or efficiency. The body is sacred because it is alive, not because it meets external standards. This shift also influences how you pursue goals. Instead of driving the body with neglect, you cooperate with it. Exercise becomes an act of care rather than punishment. Rest becomes a necessity rather than laziness. Food becomes nourishment rather than an enemy. Bowing to the body changes the motivation behind every action, grounding it in respect. Even in spiritual practice, this bow matters. Meditation often requires sitting still, which can bring discomfort. If you approach with hostility, the discomfort becomes suffering. But if you bow first, acknowledging the body's effort, you meet the discomfort with patience. The practice deepens because it is rooted in partnership rather than opposition. Over time, this habit reshapes identity. You no longer see the body as separate from you, but as you. This dissolves duality, the sense of me ordering around my body. Instead, you recognize the body-mind as one process, working together. This unity brings peace, because conflict between self and body dissolves. Gratitude for the body also brings humility. No matter your intelligence or achievements, without the body, you cannot act. Every thought depends on oxygen. Every ambition depends on movement. Acknowledging this grounds you, reminding you of dependence. Instead of arrogance, you carry reverence. This practice does not require hours. Even a single mindful breath, accompanied by a silent thank you, is enough to bow inwardly. Consistency matters more than duration. The daily act of beginning with gratitude shapes perception, and perception shapes the entire day. Bowing to the body each morning also plants seeds for aging gracefully. As the body changes, gratitude keeps you from resentment. Wrinkles, gray hair, and slowed movements are no longer enemies but reminders of endurance. Gratitude allows you to celebrate longevity rather than mourn youth. This awareness influences how you meet others in their aging and illness. You no longer see them as diminished, but as sacred bodies carrying life with dignity. Compassion flows naturally because you understand the gift and fragility of embodiment. So when you rise tomorrow, pause before demanding anything of yourself. Place a hand on your chest, bow inwardly, and say, "Thank you, body." Even if you feel tired, even if you feel pain, gratitude remains possible. From this beginning, whatever tasks follow are met not with hostility, but with partnership. To bow is to honor the silent labor that allows you to live at all. And in that bow, you carry the seed of a calm life into everything that follows. When the body has been bowed to with gratitude, the heart naturally widens its view. Respect for your own form opens the door to seeing how deeply your life depends on countless others. The food you eat, the clothes you wear, the shelter you rest under, all these comforts do not appear by themselves. They exist because of hands you will never shake, faces you will never see, lives that intertwine silently with yours. This is the invisible web of interbeing, the truth that nothing stands alone. Awakening to this web transforms the ordinary into sacred. Breakfast becomes more than a meal. Each grain of rice carries the labor of farmers, the patience of soil, the gift of rain, the warmth of sun, the transport of workers, the care of those who cooked before you eat. To chew mindlessly is to erase this truth. To eat with awareness is to touch the vast network of existence. Gratitude deepens when you realize your survival rests on the cooperation of the world. This perspective is at the heart of Buddhist teaching. Thich Nhat Hanh often spoke of seeing the cloud in your tea, the rain in your bread, the entire cosmos in a single flower. Nothing exists independently. To forget this is to fall into arrogance. To remember it is to awaken humility. Each morning, reflecting on this web is a way of grounding yourself in interconnection. Practical methods bring this awareness alive. As you wake and prepare breakfast, pause to trace one item back. Hold a piece of fruit and reflect. Who planted the seed? Who watered the tree? Who harvested it? Who transported it? Who arranged it in the store? Who built the roads that allowed it to arrive? Suddenly, what seemed simple becomes vast. This reflection does not make the food ordinary, it makes it extraordinary. The same is true of clothing. The shirt on your back carries the story of cotton fields, machines, factories, designers, transporters, and sellers. The walls around you were built by workers, engineers, and even the hands of those who cut wood or shaped stone. Your life is carried by invisible threads that stretch across nations and generations. To wake and remember this is to dissolve the illusion of independence. This awareness also creates responsibility. If your comfort rests on others, then your choices affect them in return. To waste food is to dishonor the labor of countless beings. To consume mindlessly is to strain the earth and those who work upon it. Responsibility grows not from guilt but from love. You begin to ask, how can I live in a way that honors this web rather than harms it? Science also affirms interdependence. Ecology shows that every system is connected: air, water, soil, species. Social sciences reveal that economies, cultures, and families form interlocking networks. Neuroscience demonstrates that emotions are contagious, spreading between people like ripples in water. Interbeing is not only spiritual truth, it is scientific reality. This reflection also deepens compassion. When you know your life depends on others, you cannot dismiss them easily. The stranger on the street may have touched your life through unseen labor. The farmer in another country may have grown the food on your table. This recognition expands the circle of concern beyond family or community to humanity itself. Practices of gratitude can anchor this. Each morning, as you eat, whisper thanks not only for the food, but for all the lives within it. Thank the earth, the rain, the hands that worked, the systems that carried. This practice turns meals into meditations, daily rituals of humility. This awareness also changes consumption. When you remember that each object carries countless lives, you buy less recklessly, you waste less carelessly, you cherish more deeply. Simplicity arises naturally, not from deprivation, but from respect. To own less, but honor more, becomes a source of peace. Interbeing also dissolves loneliness. Many wake feeling isolated, believing they face life alone. But reflecting on the web reveals the opposite. Every moment you are supported by countless beings, seen and unseen. The air you breathe is given by trees, the warmth of your home by builders, the energy in your body by farmers. You are never truly alone. You are woven into the fabric of existence. This truth also heals pride. Achievements often feel individual, but they are never isolated. Your education depended on teachers, on books, on the labor of those who printed them. Your career depends on colleagues, systems, infrastructure. Recognizing this dissolves arrogance and fosters gratitude. Success becomes not a personal throne, but a shared accomplishment. From a Buddhist view, Forgetting into being fuels suffering. Clinging to the illusion of separateness creates greed, anger, and ignorance. Remembering into being awakens generosity, compassion, and wisdom. It shifts the sense of self from isolated ego to part of a vast whole. This shift is liberation in daily life. Practical exercises can reinforce this. As you wake, look around your room and trace one item back through its web. Do this daily with something new. Over time, the mind naturally sees into being everywhere. Another practice is to dedicate your actions to others. As you eat, may this energy be used to serve. As you dress, may this clothing remind me of the lives that contributed. These small rituals reshape perception, embedding interconnection into ordinary routines. This awareness influences ethics as well. When you know your life depends on others, harming them becomes self-harm. Polluting the environment poisons the very systems that sustain you. Exploiting workers undermines the humanity that feeds you. Responsibility grows from understanding, not command. The calm life is not only personal peace, but collective care. Even suffering can be reframed in this web. When you feel pain, remember that countless others share similar struggles. Your hardship is not isolated, but part of the human condition. This dissolves self-pity and awakens compassion. Into being teaches that joy and sorrow ripple across the web, binding us together. Over time, this practice transforms identity. You no longer see yourself as a solitary unit, but as a node in a vast network. This brings both humility and empowerment. Humility because you realize nothing is yours alone. Empowerment because you realize your actions ripple outward, touching lives you may never see. Every choice becomes meaningful. So tomorrow, as you wake and eat, as you dress and move through your home, pause. Reflect on the invisible hands, the silent lives, the countless threads that hold you. Whisper inwardly, I live because of others. Let this truth awaken gratitude, responsibility, and compassion. In remembering into being, you step into a calm life, not as an island, but as part of the vast ocean of existence. When the heart awakens to the web of into being, gratitude expands outward. You see that your life rests on countless supports and connections. But even with this awareness, there is still a danger that weighs heavily. The habit of carrying forward what no longer belongs. Yesterday's emotions, if left unchecked, slip quietly into today. Old anger, lingering sadness, sharp words, unhealed wounds, they follow you like hidden luggage. The day begins heavy, not because of what is happening now, but because of what you have chosen, consciously or unconsciously, to bring with you. Choosing not to pick up yesterday's emotional baggage is a practice of liberation. It is the declaration that what has passed has no right to control the present. The Buddha taught that clinging is the root of suffering, and emotions, when clung to, become chains. This practice does not deny what you felt. It acknowledges the reality of those emotions while refusing to let them define the new day. The mind is skilled at carrying forward. Neuroscience shows that unresolved emotions linger in the nervous system, shaping mood and thought long after the event ends. This is why an argument at night can sour the morning, or a failure from last week can echo in today's choices. Without awareness, these emotions become default settings. But with mindfulness, you can pause each morning and say, that was yesterday. Today begins anew. The first step is awareness. As you wake, scan your mind. Notice what emotions linger. Perhaps disappointment, irritation, or regret. Instead of fusing with them, label them. Anger, sadness, worry. This labeling separates the self from the feeling. You are not anger. You are experiencing anger. Already the luggage grows lighter because you see it as optional, not mandatory. The second step is intentional release. This can be done with breath. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, silently affirm, "I release yesterday." Repeat as needed until you feel space open. The body responds to this ritual. Stress hormones decrease as the nervous system receives the signal of letting go. It is not magic, it is physiology coupled with intention. Practical rituals help reinforce this. Some write down lingering emotions in a journal each morning, then close the book as if sealing them away. Others use water, washing the face or showering while consciously releasing emotions into the stream. The physical act symbolizes the inner act. These small gestures remind the mind that the baggage has been acknowledged and put down. Forgiveness plays a role as well. Often yesterday's emotions linger because of others' actions. To carry resentment into today is to let another's mistake poison your peace twice. Forgiveness here is not approval, it is release. It says, "I will not let your actions steal another day of my life." This is self-compassion disguised as generosity. There is also the question of self-directed emotions. Many wake with regret about their own words or actions. Here too, forgiveness is vital. To forgive yourself each morning is to refuse to let yesterday's self dictate today's possibilities. The mind that clings to self-judgment cannot grow, the mind that forgives can. This practice also requires discernment. Not every emotion is harmful to carry forward. Joy, love, and gratitude can be welcomed companions. The key is choosing, not defaulting. To consciously carry joy is nourishment. To unconsciously carry resentment is poison. Each morning, choose what you will pack into the day's journey. Buddhist reflection on impermanence supports this. All emotions, whether painful or pleasant, are temporary. They arise, peak, and fade. To carry them forward artificially is to fight their natural course. By letting them dissolve, you align with reality. The phrase, "this too will change," applies not only to outer events, but also to inner moods. Science confirms the value of release. Studies on emotional regulation show that mindfulness and letting go reduce rumination, depression, and anxiety. People who consciously release emotions daily report greater resilience and clarity. The nervous system resets instead of remaining trapped in old patterns. Choosing not to carry yesterday's baggage also changes relationships. If you bring yesterday's anger into today's conversation, the conflict multiplies. But if you release it first, you meet others freshly, without old shadows. This allows healing and genuine connection. Every day becomes a chance to meet your loved ones anew, instead of through the lens of yesterday's pain. Practical methods can be woven into morning routines. Before leaving bed, say silently, "I leave behind what no longer serves." Or while drinking your first glass of water, dedicate it. "May this cleanse me of yesterday's emotions." The repetition of such practices trains the mind to begin the day lighter. Philosophically, this practice dismantles identity built on pain. Many cling to emotions because they define themselves by them. I am the betrayed one. I am the angry one. I am the failure. But when you refuse to carry those emotions forward, you free yourself from those identities. You are no longer chained to old roles. You are open to becoming. Compassion also flows naturally from this. When you release your own baggage, you recognize how others suffer under theirs. You see their anger as a burden, not as essence. This makes patience easier. Instead of reacting to their baggage, you understand it as weight they have not yet learned to put down. This practice does not mean ignoring unresolved issues. If yesterday requires action today, apologies, corrections, or commitments, you address them. But you address them from fresh presence, not from the residue of resentment or despair. This difference is profound. It allows you to act with clarity rather than reactivity. Over time, choosing not to pick up emotional baggage changes your baseline state. Mornings feel lighter, days flow more smoothly, and nights end with less residue. You live closer to the present, less entangled with the past. This is liberation not in theory but in lived experience. So tomorrow, as you wake, pause. Notice what emotions try to climb into your day. Acknowledge them, thank them for their lessons, and then put them down. Choose instead what to carry: gratitude, patience, love. Whisper to yourself, the emotions of yesterday are not required for today. In that choice lies the freedom of a calm life, renewed every dawn. When the choice is made to leave behind yesterday's emotions, the heart becomes free enough to meet the day without weight. Yet freedom alone is not the end of the path. There is a deeper perspective that can ignite urgency and meaning in every step you take. The recognition that this human life itself is rare, fragile, and precious. Without remembering this truth, even a clear morning can slip into distraction and waste. With it, every moment becomes fuel for living fully. Buddhist teachings often describe the rarity of human birth with striking images. One of the most famous is the parable of a blind sea turtle surfacing once every 100 years, and the chance that its head might pass through a single yoke floating on the ocean. That chance, the texts say, is less rare than being born human. Whether taken literally or symbolically, the meaning is clear. Existence in this form, with awareness, intelligence, and opportunity, is extraordinary. To squander it on trivialities is to forget the gift you carry. Reflecting on this rarity each morning shifts priorities. Ordinary frustrations lose their grip when weighed against the miracle of being alive as a human. The complaint about slow internet, the irritation at traffic, the obsession with minor appearances, these fade when you remember that you hold a form capable of wisdom, compassion, and transformation. This is not guilt. It is clarity. It is seeing what matters and what does not. Science also reinforces this sense of rarity. Consider the billions of galaxies, the countless planets, the sheer improbability that conditions arose here for life. Then consider the chance that you, specifically with your genetics and history, came into being. Statistically, the odds are beyond comprehension. To wake each morning is not ordinary, it is improbable. Letting this awareness sink in can transform laziness into gratitude-fueled urgency. This urgency is not panic. It is not about rushing or fearing time. It is about living deliberately. Many people drift through days as if there will always be more, as if opportunities are endless. But when you reflect on rarity, you understand that each day is non-repeatable. You may have more days, but you will never have this one again. That realization fuels presence. You eat with awareness, you listen more deeply, you choose with care. The rarity of human life also carries responsibility. With this birth comes the ability to cause harm or healing on a vast scale. Animals act by instinct, but humans can reflect, choose, and alter the world. To wake each morning with this capacity is to hold immense power. The question becomes, how will you use it? The teaching is not to frighten but to awaken. You are entrusted with a gift that carries weight. Practical reflection helps anchor this. Each morning, pause and remind yourself, out of infinite possibilities, I was given this human life. May I use it well? Speak these words inwardly and let them guide your choices. This small reminder prevents the day from being consumed by trivialities. It keeps you aligned with purpose. This perspective also heals despair. When life feels meaningless, remembering its rarity restores value. Even suffering can be reframed. Pain does not erase the gift of existence. It highlights the urgency of using time wisely. Many who faced near-death experiences testify that awareness of fragility changes everything. They love more freely, forgive more easily, and focus on what truly matters. You do not need such extremes if you practice reflection daily. The teaching also nurtures humility. To see your life as rare is to know it is not earned but given. You did not control being born human, in this time, in these conditions. It is a fortune, not an entitlement. This softens arrogance and awakens gratitude. You stop demanding life to meet your every wish and begin honoring life by how you live. From this reflection, ethical conduct grows naturally. If life is precious, wasting it on harm to self or others is foolish. Instead, you seek actions that nourish, that contribute, that bring meaning. Compassion expands because you see the rarity of life, not only in yourself but in everyone. Each person you meet also holds this precious chance, no matter their circumstances. That recognition deepens respect. Practical exercises reinforce this truth. As you eat, reflect. Countless beings do not have this meal. As you walk, reflect. Countless beings do not have this freedom of movement. As you learn, reflect. Countless beings do not have this chance to grow. These thoughts are not meant to create guilt, but gratitude and responsibility. They sharpen your awareness of the extraordinary conditions you enjoy. Philosophically, this reflection also dissolves procrastination. To postpone meaning is to gamble with a gift that is uncertain in length. How many mornings are left? None can say. When you see life's rarity, the impulse to delay shrinks. You begin now, not later, to live according to your values. This teaching also invites joy. Precious things are cherished, not resented. To see your life as rare is to celebrate it. Even small pleasures shine brighter when seen as part of a miracle. The warmth of sunlight, the laughter of friends, the comfort of home all become treasures, not background noise. Gratitude becomes natural because you see clearly how unlikely it is to have these moments at all. The awareness of rarity also deepens spiritual practice. Meditation, reflection, and ethical living are no longer chores, but opportunities. Each breath of practice is a use of this rare human birth toward awakening. To neglect practice is to waste the very gift designed for it. This truth motivates without harshness, like a gentle reminder of what is possible. Over time, this reflection reshapes identity. You stop seeing yourself as ordinary and start seeing yourself as custodian of something precious. This does not inflate ego, it humbles it. You are not rare because of superiority, you are rare because of circumstance. This humility breeds both urgency and tenderness. So when you wake tomorrow, let your first awareness after releasing yesterday's baggage